Hi guys, so I'm starting this week off with a bit of an explanation because the vlog is going to be a little bit bitty because I did start filming the building of the pantry, which I'll show you in just a second, from start to finish. But then when it actually came to the actual building itself, I completely lost my voice. And when I say I lost my voice, it didn't come back for about a week and a half. And the worst of it was definitely whilst we were building. Plus, like, we've just been a very sick household recently, so the kids were kind of like crawling the walls a little bit, and I kind of roped Sam into helping with me because I thought it was a good idea to start building it during Lila's nap, and then she woke up. So in actual fact, it ended up with Sam doing most of the building, but he's done a great job. It looks amazing. If you've seen the video on TikTok, I'm really, really happy with it. It just has ticked a few boxes of, I needed to claim back some countertop space because especially at the start of the week when the shop comes, with all the bread and all of those bits and pieces, we basically just lost this strip with, also we used to have our fruit and like onions, like vegetables that didn't need to go in the fridge, all up here as well. So it was a bit of a dual purpose. I needed some space because this pantry cupboard over here, I'll show you in just a second, but I'll just swivel the camera. Yes, basically this pantry, long thing pantry cupboard here, was just like really, it was just an absolute mess. And there wasn't enough room. So I needed to get back a little bit of room for pantry items, get some white top space, and also make use of a empty corner. So anyway, I'll insert this part of the video now and then pick back up afterwards. So this is the part of the kitchen where there is just not a lot going on other than a dumping space. As you can see right there, it's where we put the spare chair when we are eating in the kitchen. You can see all the boxes in the background there. But yeah, because we don't have like a proper kitchen island, one of us has to sit around the other side, and then baby goes in high chair, not even a toddler anymore, but 3-year-old goes on his little chair and table set down there. So obviously need to keep that chair around, and the high chair. Hoover also is plugged in over there, and we've just got the recycling bin and the nappy bin, which can also move, and then just some pots that could definitely do with not being there any longer, because I think they were literally there since the day we moved in. So yeah, that is the side of the kitchen that you don't ever see, and it just feels like a massive waste of space. So what I've decided to do is essentially build like a makeshift pantry, because the other issue I have is that we don't have an awful lot of countertop space, and up until very recently we had even less because we had the sterilizer for the bottles and also a formula prep machine thing. So we didn't have an awful lot of room to prep food, and then we obviously always use this to cook. So I've decided to make this area into like a pantry, but obviously a temporary pantry. So it's with budget in mind. And so the approach I've gone for essentially is I have bought it's actually like a room divider. It was from JYSK. I think that's what it is, JYSK? Pretty sure, I will check. And I'm gonna hold my hands up right now. And I thought, yeah, JYSK. I thought it was like a glass panelled door thing. Not door, but like a glass panel room divider. And when it came, I was like, it's actually just a room divider. That I think is meant to kind of like impersonate one of those like crystal doors. But that's not a problem actually. To be fair, it's probably a lot safer with the kids. I'm not too upset. And it was only, I think it was about 80 or 90 pounds. So we've got to obviously safely fit that to the floor. That could be a job for Sam, if I'm completely honest. Obviously we're not too precious about these tiles because we didn't do anything to them. Although I am toying with looking at if there's any way you can bring up old tiles. I'm not so hopeful, if I'm completely honest, because I wouldn't paint them because it's such like a heavy duty area, and the grout is like there's bits of grout missing. But back to our today's problem, pantry. So yes, I've got a room divider that will act as like a little screen, so it's like a semi-open pantry. And then I was planning on doing just like floating shelves, but in terms of cost it was going to work out a lot more expensive. And then I found these very, you know, cheap and cheerful pine tall shelving. Actually they're not that tall. I think they're about 160, so I imagine they will come up to about here. Yeah, 160 is probably gonna be about here, isn't it? But again, I don't think that's gonna be a huge problem. And then I've also bought a couple of shelves for this wall. Again, I was gonna build, like, or not build, buy another shelving, narrow shelving bit here, but I don't think we need it. And it was the narrow one, the narrow one was actually a lot lower than the other one. So I've decided to go with 2 5-tier shelving units these were from B&Q. I think these were on offer for like £22 each. And some shelving from IKEA. And then we shall start with the accessories once I kind of get the first bits up and see how it looks. So this is me. Let's give it a go.
Where's it gonna go? This wall?
Yeah. The first one is up, we're staggering it quite a lot. Is it funny? So it is Saturday afternoon and I might have encouraged the complete and utter destruction of the kitchen because we're plowing ahead with the old pantry build. So shelves are sorted and next is the room divider. Give you a little sneak peek there. And to be fair, I had planned on doing this one myself, with just waiting for a little bit of initial instruction from Sam, but it's actually worked out that I'm cooking our dinner. And you can hear from my voice, I've probably had hay fever, and something I took has like made all the kind of congestion stick to my vocal cords. So yeah, so I've ended up making dinner and Sam's like cracking on with it. So to be fair, this next part I'm not too ambitious about, that I wouldn't know what to do. It's like drilling into the floor, so we'll let you know how that goes. So that hopefully showed you some of the build up, and I can show you the final result now. I'm gonna put a little precursor as well to this part as well, that we are at the end of the week and it's not looking quite as bountiful as it usually does when it's the start of the week and the shops come and it's, yeah, full. Now it's looking a little bit empty, but also I haven't moved any of the bits, so everything that is normally dumped there is dumped there, so it's not a showroom version of it by any means. But this is the final result. Just let it get into focus a little bit. I'll flip you around in just a second. As you can see, the bins are all out there, and the high chair and our other spare chair for the smallest kitchen island known to man. If I just flip you around, so there we go. So this is, like I said, the final result, and I am so chuffed with it. I will put some finished pictures in when it's looking all in its complete glory, but it worked really well and it all came in under £150. The actual kind of items to fill the pantry, which I'll go through in just a second, probably cost just as much, which is a bit of a joke, isn't it? These are a great find as well. I think I actually bought these before, but they're £3 from IKEA, and they're I think it's called like a Beckfam spice rack, but obviously you don't need to use them for spices. You can use them for books and the bedrooms, but I thought they were really good. And again, really happy with these as well. They're really sturdy. Obviously you need to fix them all on the wall to become, like, to be sturdy. And I really love these crates down here from IKEA. They come flat pack. The only annoying thing with the crates is that they have to be part of like a large order. So if you don't have an IKEA that's local to you, yeah, it's a little bit annoying because you either have to do like a click and collect, or it has to be part of a large order. The room divider from JYSK, I love, and I just really like the kind of overall effect. If like we're coming in here, it just adds a little bit of interest to that corner, plus obviously it's very functional. So yeah, all in all, very happy. We'll be even happier when we don't have a nappy bin in there as well. I'll just show you some of the other items as well that I picked up. This I love. It's like a fruit and veg truck, and I got this one from Amazon. I'll link as many as the products I can remember to in the description below. But yeah, it looks really, really cute. Obviously not displayed very nicely right now. The only thing I would say is that I think I need to get like a banana clip, or do you know if the ones I think they're called banana hooks. I don't want like a full-on banana tree because I just don't particularly like the way they look. But I've just noticed that my bananas go really quickly in there. I don't know if it's completely by chance, but yeah, something I've just noticed. And then I did a bit of a Amazon, I think it was like a multi-buy jars with the kind of bamboo effect lids. So that included in the one that I bought from Amazon was like this one, this one, this one, the two flower ones, and this little guy down here. And then I bought 3 of the cereal containers as well. And these big cookie jars were from IKEA actually. So they look very in keeping, but they are from IKEA. What I found was IKEA's reasonable, but obviously the delivery charge is quite high if you don't have an IKEA close by. Oh, just one more thing before I flip you around. These baskets were also IKEA. I do love those. I think they were only like £12. And then finally, just before I forget, I bought like a little Lazy Susan for when I replenish all of our olive oils. Just because obviously the shelving have got gaps in, and for smaller items like this, they could go through. And then I also need to figure out what to do about the jar situation, because obviously when the kids are a little bit older and I don't have to worry about Lila going in there with her little mitts, I'll be able to shove everything out there. But at the moment, even just having those few items, I haven't dared to put anything else in there, because from the minute I started putting things up on the racks, she was like in there like somewhere grabbing things off. I think that tin of beans has definitely seen better days, because she keeps taking it and banging it on the room divider. So if anything, it speaks volumes of the room divider, because it is already standing the test of time. I think if anything needs a bit of like a hard test, or to see if it kind of is gonna live up to kind of living standards, my kids will absolutely do that. But yeah, I will insert a few more artier shots of it all in place. But I'm really chuffed. I really like it. And the really nice thing is, I hadn't, obviously you don't mention to your friends, do you, what you're doing with your house the weekend, but a couple of my friends happened to come by the next week because it was my birthday, and they were all like, oh my god, that looks amazing. So very happy with it. And the other thing I was going to show you guys that I've been working on, I have, sorry, I'm just laughing at the balloons that have definitely seen better days, as have the flowers, to be fair. So we have 2 little ones, and we are now, with, especially when you've got your second one, you kind of have met loads of people. So we've got birthdays coming out of our ears, and what I decided to do, rather than kind of steam through every birthday and try and wonder what to buy, I decided to do like a kind of like a flat gift, but that was personalized. So what I've tried to do is make these denim jackets for all the kids, and then add their names on. So I actually got all of the denim jackets from Shein, and then once you've kind of like added them all in, it's actually worth paying the postage, because I think they were all like around £8. Some of them, because I had to reorder sizes went over the £10 mark. But if you are looking for like a good, cute gift that's a bit unique, that kind of comes in around under £15 for kids' friends, this is a good shout. I'll show you the two that I've done for Lila and Fred's. And yeah, let me know what you think, because I think they look so cute. Here we go. So here's Freddie's, and one of our other little boys in the group has got one like this as well. Love this bear, and it's like a really good quality. Like, my mum couldn't believe the quality of them, considering they were from Shein, and she's a bit of a stickler for quality. I have to hold my hands up and say this has really highlighted to me something that I need to learn, because I'm sure I'm going to enter into an era now where that skill is going to come in use, and that is to learn how to sew properly. And to be honest with you, I probably could just about sew these on, but I did end up using the fabric glue from High Tack, which has kind of worked. But I would say if you want something that is going to definitely hold, it doesn't need a few stitches in. So I do plan on doing that. I bought my do you know what I actually did? I used ChatGPT. I only downloaded it recently. I know I'm a bit late to the party, but I used ChatGPT to tell me what needle I needed for this particular job, and obviously what type of thread. So otherwise I would have been stabbing, like hugely shooting in the dark, wouldn't have had a clue what I was ordering. So yeah, my first kind of real use of ChatGPT, which I was thrilled with. And then this is the one I've done for Lila. Let me just flip you around. So yeah, so Lila's, there were no really cute jackets for Lila's age, so I ordered a couple of these extra. There was another one that came, which was like a crown. We decided it looked pretty ghastly, so we've gone for cute lettering, little flower, little smiley face, and yeah. So yeah, I just thought I'd throw that one in there. I'm actually gonna go and get changed, because it is very close in terms of it's so muggy, and I thought I was gonna be able to get away with jeans, but I'm actually just too hot and sticky. So I'm gonna put some shorts on, I think. But before I do, let me just quickly show you this outfit, because as I was just talking to you, my mum, she has got, I have to say, exceptional style, and she always has done, and she's always really good at picking out clothing. So it's just having a job focusing. She's always been really good at picking out clothing for any age, anybody. She just has got such an eye, and I mean, I enjoy putting a house together and things like that, but she has always been so good at it. And I have to say, like, most of my wardrobe, my mum actually, if there's anything that actually looks half decent and nice, it's probably that my mum has bought it. And the same with the house, like she's always kind of like looking on the lookout for nice little bits and things like that. So yeah, I have definitely got a lot to owe to her for kind of showing me how to put things together, and what it's worth spending your money on, and where you can kind of save a bit of money but still get things that look nice. So anyway, moving on to what I was actually telling you, which was like, it was my birthday last week, and bless her, she still kind of insists on buying me like birthday presents as if I was like 12 or 13. I literally called her up this year and I was like, Mom, please, like, please don't buy me birthday presents this year. I really don't need it. Like, I'm 36. And I was like, just spend your money on the grandkids, like, it's fine. And she's like, I can't, you're still my baby, you'll always be my baby. So bless her, she came up to visit us, and she bought me a load of clothes, and she absolutely nailed it. And this outfit in particular, as soon as I opened it, I was like, oh my god, she's so good. So let me just spin you around. So the top, would you believe, oh, me and my friend were just talking about this. Oh, here we go, in focus, let's get rid of the nasty thing. The top, would you believe, is from M&S, and it's like a little cropped number, But it's got beautiful bow at the back. You can wear a bra with it. You don't have to wear a what's it called, like a strapless bra, which is always a good one, especially when you're a mum. And it's like all ruching. It's really, when I saw it I was like, oh, is this going to be one of those ones that makes you look a little bit bigger than you actually are? But actually no, and I love the kind of gingham print. And then the trousers are barrel leg trousers from Zara, and they're just really cool, and they're really comfy material. I have been so slack in replacing white trousers in my wardrobe since the old skinny jeans days, just because I always feel a little bit on show in white trousers. I always like worry about standing out too much. Plus I've got like really old mentality, like white jeans are for holidays and yeah, sunnier days. So the sunny days in the UK, as we know, are far and few between. But these I think I'll actually be a bit braver about throwing them on, not just when the sun is shining. But yeah, I really love this outfit. I think she's absolutely nailed it. Right, let me go and put some shorts on, and then I think it's time to make some lunch. That's better. It actually feels like my thunderstorm. It's so hot. So I'm gonna make a bit of lunch. I am running so far behind today because you only have like one thing that then just makes the whole day just back up. There was like a traffic thing going on as I was dropping the kids to nursery this morning, and it just, yeah, it meant the whole day got a little bit delayed. So what I was about to tell you was, I found out yesterday that I am going to be going to Ladies' Day at Ascot next week. So I'm very excited. I have never been to the races. I used to work at Cheltenham when I was younger as like a hostess. But if you don't know, I basically, I work in sports as a reporter, but mainly motorsport. And I'm hosting a lounge at Silverstone for the Formula One in July. And so this is the company that they're basically putting on the hospitality experience, and they do for a lot of like prestigious sports events. So Ascot being one of them. So they've invited me along with a friend to come and have an experience with them, which I'm really looking forward to. And the primary issue I have right now is it's less than a week away, and I obviously don't have a dress, I don't have a hat, I don't have shoes, and for the last, what, 3.5 years, well plus, I've basically been pregnant and making babies and feeding babies, so I don't really have that attire just hanging around in my wardrobe. So I need to find a dress, and I think most likely, because Sam's away working, I'm going to be doing a bit of online shopping this evening, so there's a lot to do. I thought I'd just quickly show you this. So I am definitely partial to a margarita, and Sam actually was going to try and bring back this particular tequila from Mexico when he went earlier in the year, and it smashed and broke all over his bag, so we ended up with one messy bag, no clear tequila. And I fully intended to get some more, but I haven't. But if you ever want to make a quick margarita but don't want all the faff of squeezing the limes, this Tree premixer is actually pretty damn good. I'm not having a margarita before I go and pick the kids up. I went to go and find a lemon, and Sam's clearly used, oh actually I know where it is. I know where it is. Actually no, I'm just gonna have this anyway. So yeah, so I'm just gonna have some of this with some sparkling water. But if it was 7 o'clock and the kids were in bed and I had any clear tequila, this would make a good margarita. Absolutely furious about my hollandaise sauce. This is probably the one time I've actually afforded myself a bit of time for lunch and I ruin it. I'm not sure it'll be all that clear from that shot. Can you see? The rain came, but it's still so hot. But the kids are in bed. I am on the final episode of F1 Academy. If any of you have watch that, let me know what you think. I don't know if I'm like not underwhelmed. Underwhelmed is totally like the wrong, it's quite a harsh adjective. I just think perhaps because it's only the second season of the series anyway, like there's not very much jeopardy built up in their kind of like careers and kind of rivalries together. But I actually used to cover a series called W Series, which preceded F1 Academy. F1 Academy was essentially what replaced W Series. So a lot of these drivers I have come across from that series. So it's really nice. It's really cool to see that opportunity, despite the financial issues that that series encountered. I'm really glad that at least some of the drivers went on to continue to have opportunities, whether it be racing opportunities or media opportunities. I'm glad like the whole rug wasn't pulled from beneath the carpet, because it's obviously like it's a cause that I feel so passionately about, in creating more opportunities for women within motorsports and sports in general, but particularly in motorsport. And yeah, whilst I'm kind of like on one hand not critiquing the series, it's been filmed really well, and Hello Sunshine are obviously like an amazing production company. If you're not familiar with them, they are a production company that Reese Witherspoon started, and it was all with the objective of essentially championing women. And so yeah, like it's great that it's obviously like attracted their interest, and obviously it's on Netflix, which means hopefully more people watch it, a la Drive to Survive. But I think that's probably their only hurdle, is that it will be directly compared to Drive to Survive, and yeah, it hasn't quite got that edge. It's like a softer version, I would say. It's probably something I would have really enjoyed actually when I was a teenager, so therefore maybe it has actually completely ticked the box, because I could fully see myself engaging with this when I was kind of like 14, actually probably even younger. So actually I'm going to take back my previous criticism of it and say I might be a little bit old in the tooth for it, but actually 12-year-old, 11-year-old, up to teenage me would have really enjoyed this, and that's really who they're trying to inspire. So yeah, gonna take my words and eat them. Right, I've got to find this dress for next week for Ascot, so wish me luck. The kids are in bed. Let's see how much I can get done before I fall asleep.